Hi everyone and good morning. This is just a quick Blu Ray update video. Since my collection video in June, I've had quite a few additions. There's a small stack of them down there. I'll run through them quickly. This is pretty much everything I've picked up in July and August. So first up, in July, I was given 10 Blu-rays by a work colleague of mine who was clearing out her collection. So just to go through these quickly, we've got a John Carpenter film here called The Ward. This is one I've not seen before, so I'm quite excited to give this a try. Next up is Chronicle. I have seen this one before, but I quite liked it. It's always been on my wish list to buy. I've just never got around to getting it, so to get given it for free is a bonus. So this is Sinister. This is another one I haven't seen. Again, I am into horror films, so looking forward to seeing this one. I've heard relatively good things about it. Here we've got The Purge. Again, this is another one that I haven't seen, and it has been again on my wish list. I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. So this is Paul, as you can see. I have seen this one. I am a fan of like the Simon Pegg comedies, so I needed this one in my collection. Here we've got The Sitter. Never seen this before. This is the type of comedy that I normally wouldn't buy, and there's a few more coming up that I normally wouldn't purchase, but I suppose when you get given it for free you can't complain. Here we've got Hall Pass. Again, another comedy. Never seen it before. I'll give it a go at some point. Here's The Change Up. Again, not seen this comedy before. If I'm being honest, this one doesn't appeal to me at all, but as I say, when it's given to you for free, you can't complain, so at some point or other, I'll give it a watch. So here's Due Date. Obviously, you know, like most people, fan of Robert Downey Jr. I do like The Hangover. I haven't seen Due Date before, so I really should get round to watching this. And finally, out of the freebies, we've got We're the Millers. I watched this a couple of weeks ago. I thought it was okay, you know. As I say, comedies aren't my favourite genre, but this was, you know, this was passable. It was all right. Okay, so the next 13 films are second-hand ones that are picked up from a British store called CEX. So here we've got Michael J. White in Blood and Bone. I do like martial arts films. I have seen this before, but it was quite a few years ago. I can't really remember that much about it, so maybe it's not that memorable. However, I definitely want to give it another shot. Here we've got David Fincher's The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Again, this is one I haven't seen before, and I'm actually shocked in myself that I haven't watched this. I'm definitely excited to give this a go, even though I've heard that it's not sort of normal David Fincher style. Here we've got the two Russian films, Night Watch and Day Watch. Now, I've seen Night Watch before. I watched this several years ago and I really quite enjoyed it. I've never seen Day Watch, which is its sequel, so I'll say I'll be looking forward to giving that one a shot. Next up, we've got a film called The Ruins. This is just like a horror film. I have seen this before. It's not particularly amazing. I kind of enjoyed it the first time I watched it, and as I say, I found it for quite cheap on CEX, so I thought I'd add it to the collection. Here we've got Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia. This one I definitely have seen before. I had it in my DVD collection before I got rid of most of them. This is a fantastic film. I mean, it's a long one, so you got to be prepared to get through the whole thing. But what a film! Wow, fantastic stuff. Okay, next up we've got Man of Tai Chi. I haven't seen this all the way through before. I watched about the first half hour around a friend's house once, and I quite enjoyed it. So when I saw it on the CEX website, I thought, oh, you know, I'll pick that one up at the same time. As I say, if you've seen my collection, you know that I'm quite into martial arts films anyway. So this has got, apart from Keanu Reeves, of course, Tiger Chen, who, you know, if you're a martial arts fan, obviously you're aware of the upcoming Triple Threat, which looks fucking awesome, of who Tiger Chen stars in it. So yeah, I'll look forward to watching this the whole way through. So next up, we've got the Midnight Meat Train, starring the one and only Vinnie Jones, as well as Bradley Cooper. Um, I've seen this before, and I quite enjoyed it. The main reason I got it is because it's directed by Ryuhei Kitamura, and he's a really good Japanese director. Unfortunately, there's a lot of his films you can't get on Blu Ray in the UK, but I'd like to really try and collect his work, so this was an obvious buy, especially it was only £1 on CEX. So here we've got the Australian film Snowtown. Now this is one I haven't actually seen before. I've just heard that it's really sort of, brutal and quite controversial, and I do like watching a good controversial film now and again. So I picked Snowtown up. I think it was only about £2 or £3. So I haven't watched it yet. I will certainly give it a go soon. Okay, so this is the last in the bunch of the CEX website pickups. This is an absolute classic, The Lavender Hill Mob. It's a British film, a comedy. This is a film that I had on DVD. I've got my dad to thank for loving early British comedies like this. What an absolute classic! I think it was remade. I might be wrong. That might have been The Lady Killers actually. Not to worry. As I say, the Lavender Hill Mob. This is the original and the best. What a fantastic film, and the restoration they've done. It looks a million times better than the DVD did. Fantastic stuff. Okay, so these three were found in a CEX store. They were all amazingly cheap, so I thought, why not just pick them all up? I think they were like £1 each or something, which, to be honest, is just a bit of a bargain. I had the first two, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe and Prince Caspian, on DVD. I have seen The Voyage of the Dawn Treader as well. Not absolutely amazing films, but they're quite entertaining. If you like sort of fantasy, like Lord of the Rings-esque type productions like that, then you're probably going to enjoy them. They're child-friendly, they're Disney at the end of the day, so it's just like, it's an entertaining bit of escapism. They're all right. So this is the final pickup from the CEX store. It's a Japanese film called Branded to Kill, as you can see on the front cover, directed by Seijun Suzuki. Arrow is starting to release a lot more of his work. That they've got a box set up coming with some of his early works. I've never seen this one before. I love Yakuza films from this era. I can't wait to give this one a watch. Okay, so the next three films are ones that I picked up from Music Magpie. Starting off, this was what I thought was an incredibly lucky find. This is the Australian release of the remake of The Blob. I found it for about £3. I couldn't believe my luck when I saw it and it arrived, and it was in mint condition, so I thought that's great. I have seen it before, of course, but I've always wanted to buy this, but it's always been about £15 to £20 on Amazon. Then I found it on Music Magpie as a one-off, and I thought, wow, definitely got to pick that one up. The next Music Magpie pickup is the classic Stargate. Great bit of escapism, this one. This is the Ultimate Edition, so it's the second version they've released on Blu-ray, which is, I've not seen the original Blu-ray release, but this is supposed to have a better picture, and it's got the better sound to it. We actually give this a watch the other week. I think it's aged quite well, to be fair. It's, as I say, it's just, it's Roland Emmerich at the end of the day, so it's just a good bit of Hollywood escapism, but yeah, it's kind of one that I grew up with, so I did want to get it on Blu-ray. The last in the Music Magpie pickups then, this is one that I used to own on DVD, so yeah, United 93. Obviously, I'm sure most people will be aware of this film. It was a little bit controversial at the time, detailing basically the timeline of 9/11 and the passengers on the fateful fourth plane which crash landed. I thought, to be honest, I do like this film. It's the reason why I wanted to buy it on Blu-ray. I thought it's quite well put together. I think Paul Greengrass is a good director as well. It's staged quite well. So next up is Logan. This one I actually just bought in store in Tesco when it came out. This is one that I was always going to buy. I've got the rest of the X-Men films, so I need this one really. I did enjoy it when I saw it at the cinema. We watched it again, I think pretty much the day we bought it. It's a good film. It's a decent, well-made, entertaining film. What more can I say? It's quite interesting on when you compare it to the previous X-Men films. It doesn't have that sort of glossy look like some of the other ones do. Next up, I picked up Kong Skull Island from Tesco. So as you can see with this release, and one of the reasons that swayed me to buy it is because I did want the Godzilla film from 2014 as well, which came free with it. Hadn't seen Skull Island before. We watched it when I bought it. I thought it was all right. It's not amazing. It's just sort of, a big monster film at the end of the day. You sort of get what you pay for with it, don't you? But it's quite entertaining. So the next lot of films are all Amazon orders. So the first one is Dead Snow 2, Red vs Dead. This one was dirt cheap. I found it for about £1.50 new on Amazon. And with Prime, obviously, you get that delivered too. I like the original. I've not seen the sequel yet. Haven't had a chance to watch it. I will be trying to watch it soon. It's the first one was, it was quite well done. It's quite entertaining. You gotta love Nazi zombies at the end of the day, haven't you? Next up is The Devil's Double with this crazy reflective slipcase. We watched this recently when it arrived. I thought it was okay. I wouldn't say it's an amazing film. It's quite interesting. The subject matter is certainly interesting. I thought generally speaking it was quite well done, and the set pieces were fantastic considering it's all set in Iraq. So next up we've got The Church. It's an Italian horror film from 1989. It's produced by Dario Argento as well. Not seen it yet. I do like these sort of low budget horror films from Italy, so that's the reason basically I picked it up. That and it was quite a good deal at the time. So yeah, definitely want to give this one a go. This is only the second Shameless release I've got in my entire collection actually after Cannibal Holocaust, and they have actually put out some good films, so I want to try and pick up a few more of theirs. Next up we've got the Arrow release of Pulse, directed by Kiyoshi Kurosawa. This is actually the first of two films that I picked up from him. Now this is an interesting one. Arrow announced this in November last year I believe, but it only finally got its release in July. Literally the day it arrived I wanted to watch it. I love these kind of J-horror films, and Pulse is, it shifts in its tone from sort of supernatural horror to just completely sort of apocalyptic towards the end of the film. Wow, I really do recommend this one. If you like Japanese films, definitely one to watch. Next up is a Masters of Cinema release, Wooden Crosses. It's a French film from 1932. It's set during the First World War. I haven't watched it yet. To be honest, I bought it because Amazon do have good sales now and again on the Eureka titles. I love this series of films. Eureka always pick out classics to release, especially in their Masters of Cinema series. So yeah, I'll definitely be giving this one a watch soon. Okay, so here we've got El Sur, or The South. This is a Spanish film by Victor Erice. I haven't seen this one. The BFI releases tend to be quite good and reliable, so I'm looking forward to it. I know that this director made a classic of Spanish cinema, The Spirit of the Beehive, which I watched many years ago, which unfortunately still doesn't have a Blu Ray release in this country. So when they announced El Sur, I wanted to watch it, and then quite recently the price halved on Amazon temporarily, so I put an order in straight away. I had to wait about 4 weeks for it to arrive, but you can't complain when they drop the price so much. So here's a release that I'd been eyeing up for quite some time. I managed to pick it up on Prime Day for a little bit cheaper than normal. It's the Universal Monsters collection. So as you can see in this collection, we've got 8 films from the series. These are absolute sort of, cinematic classics. I mean, just to quickly go through what we've got here. We've got Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Invisible Man, The Bride of Frankenstein, The Wolfman, The Phantom of the Opera, and the creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, what an amazing set of films to have in one collection. I cannot wait to start watching some of these films. Some of them I've not seen in years, and these are just, absolute early classics of the horror genre. Fantastic stuff. So next up is an anime series called Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water. So this is the complete series box set. It's got all 39 episodes. The main reason I picked this up is I watched it in another collector's videos, and it came highly recommended. I mean, it's based on like a Jules Verne novel. I heard that Hayao Miyazaki had a hand in doing some of the screenwriting. It was also mainly directed by Hideaki Anno, who's responsible for the Neon Genesis Evangelion series. So I've watched the first few episodes of this. Unfortunately, I've been sidetracked. I've got that much to watch, and unfortunately, when you've got a full-time job, you just don't seem to have all the time to watch everything that you want to. But there we go. So this is a series that I'll definitely want to get into and complete soon. So here we've got the second of the Kiyoshi Kurosawa films, Pulse being the first one. So this one's Tokyo Sonata. This is, again, it's one that's been on my hit list for some time. Haven't seen this one before. Really looking forward to giving it a watch. As you can see, it's another Masters of Cinema release, number 3 in their title catalogue actually. But yeah, can't wait to give this one a go. So next up we've got the Criterion release of 12 Angry Men. This is the UK release version. You may be aware Amazon and HMV, they had sales on a lot of the Criterion releases recently. Even though I've been trying to save a little bit of money recently, had to buy this. I needed to pick up at least one release from the sale, really. It'd be a crime not to. I thought 12 Angry Men, even though you are stuck for choice with the Criterion sales, 12 Angry Men is such a fantastic film. It's one that I've not seen for many years. I actually put off buying the other UK release when I found out that this one was going to be released. Cannot wait to give this one a watch again. Here we've got Get Out. This one was through word of mouth doing quite well, especially amongst like friends and people at work. A lot of people had mentioned that they really enjoyed this film. I'd read a few things about it, quite a lot of positives, so I thought I'd give it a go. We watched it basically when it arrived. I was quite impressed with it actually. I thought the end it kind of changes its tone somewhat, but the whole film sort of the creepy sort of atmosphere it builds throughout the rest of the film was really quite good. I'm going to be honest, yeah, I really did quite enjoy this film. It's definitely one that I'll be watching again soon. Okay, so here we've got a film called Clash. It's another Arrow release from their Arrow Academy range. Wow, this is such a good film. I watched this when it arrived because I'd had it on pre-order for a while. I'd heard some quite good things about it. I've not seen any of the director's work before. It's a fellow named Mohamed Diab. I mean, the whole film is set basically in the back of this police riot van, and it's set during, just after the Egyptian revolution, during the riots. It's tense stuff. It's fantastic though. I really do recommend it. Really good film. Right, guys, we're getting to the end of the collection update here. Here we've got a film that I had to pick up. I love this director's work, a Korean director called Park Chan-wook. This is his most recent film, The Handmaiden. So this is the special edition version from Artificial Eye. It contains the original theatrical cut and the extended edition. I'm not going to lie, Park Chan-wook is fast becoming one of my favourite directors. He really is. I haven't had chance to watch The Handmaiden yet. I love his body of work though. I've heard such good things about this film. I literally cannot wait to watch it. Don't think it's one that you want to watch with your entire family in front of you, but there you go. Really excited. This one looks to be awesome. Okay, last but not least, this one I picked up from Zavi. I knew I had to get this as soon as Arrow announced it. I've got the original 5-film series of Battles Without Honor and Humanity. So when they announced the like sequel of sorts trilogy, New Battles Without Honor and Humanity, I pre-ordered it and haven't looked back. Okay, so as you can see in this box set, we've got the first of the 3 films, which is New Battles Without Honor and Humanity. The next one, The Boss's Head, and then the third and final one, Last Days of the Boss. Now, this one arrived quite recently. I absolutely love the work from Kenji Fukasaku. I love the genre. Yakuza films from this era. They paved the way for sort of contemporary Japanese cinema. I absolutely adored the original series, the original 5 films, so I literally cannot wait to watch these. I'm waiting for a time when I've got a whole afternoon. I can watch all 3 all in a row. I literally can't wait. This was like it had to be like a day one buy effectively. Such a good release. Okay, so that about concludes the update video. Thank you very much for watching. I'm undoubtedly will have more pickups over the next month. I'd like to try and do a video every month with what I get, so that these videos aren't too long, because when you end up doing them after 2 to 3 months, you find you've got a hell of a lot of new films to show. Hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to comment any suggestions. I'm always open for any new films. Doesn't have to be similar to the ones that I've shown you here. It can be absolutely anything. Right, well, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your days, guys.